and warm welcome to join us for this edition of ANN English News. The White House on Monday defended Vice President Joe Biden for saying that the Taliban isn't an enemy of the United States, despite the years spent fighting the militant group. It's only regrettable when taken out of context, White House spokesman Jay Carney said of the Vice President's remarks in an interview with Fox News. Biden said during the interview it was good enough for the U.S. if Afghanistan stops being a haven for people who do damage to the United States of America and its allies. A key Republican U.S. Senator warned against negotiating with the Taliban on Monday, illustrating the political risk the Obama administration is taking by considering a prisoner transfer as part of a bid to end the Afghan war. It sounds as if the administration has decided to negotiate with terrorists, something the United States does not do, Senator Saxby Chambliss said. U.S. officials told Reuters on Monday that a transfer of Taliban prisoners from the Guantanamo Bay could be one confidence-building measure on a peace deal with the Taliban. The Afghan government on Monday appeals for international help to boost talks with the Taliban and other armed opposition groups. At the UN Security Council debate on the war-torn country, Deputy Foreign Minister Javed Lodin stressed the government's determination to pursue reconciliation efforts despite Taliban attacks and assassinations. The Deputy Minister stressed the cooperation needed from Pakistan and other neighboring countries to overcome militant groups. UN peacekeeping chief meanwhile stressed international commitment to Afghanistan long after the Western troops' withdrawal. Pakistani military officers have begun returning to coordination centers near the Afghan border, NATO said on Monday, calling it a sign that tensions were easing nearly a month after American airstrike killed 24 Pakistani soldiers. But Pakistan has not reopened the supply lines for NATO forces in Afghanistan that run through its territory. The supply lines were closed by Islamabad in the wake of the airstrike. NATO forces generally get about 2/3 of their supplies in other ways, but the land roads through Pakistan remain vital. Mourners in North Korea have been paying their last respects at the open coffin of late leader Kim Jong-il. The U.S. has called on North Korea to pursue a path of peace following the death of its leader. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said the U.S. was ready to help the North Korean people and create lasting security on the Korean peninsula. Around the region, countries have been holding urgent talks about what the immediate implications of Mr. Kim's death might be. Egyptian security forces fired weapons and used batons and tear gas for a 5th day in the latest security operation to clear Cairo's central Tahrir Square of opponents of army rule. The sound of heavy gunfire rang out as police and soldiers charged hundreds of protesters at dawn on Tuesday. Activists and witnesses said up to a dozen people have been killed and hundreds wounded in clashes since Friday, while scores have also been detained in the wake of the clashes. Syria has agreed to allow an Arab observer mission into the country to monitor Damascus' compliance with a peace agreement aimed at stopping violence, as human rights activists said that thousands of people were killed across the country. Syria's Deputy Foreign Minister and Arab League Assistant Secretary General signed the document at the Arab League's headquarters in the Egyptian capital Cairo on Monday. Meanwhile, the Syrian Foreign Minister said that Syria had only signed up to the deal after making sure it did not infringe on his country's sovereignty. Iraqi authorities have issued an arrest warrant for the country's Sunni vice president, leading to fears of the government's collapse and an increase in sectarian tensions. The warrant for Tariq al-Hashimi was issued under anti-terrorism laws, Interior Ministry officials said. It came after bodyguards of Mr. Hashimi, who were arrested, reportedly accused him of having links to terrorism. The main Sunni political bloc has said it is boycotting cabinet in response. Mr. Hashimi has been an outspoken critic of Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki. And that's all for now. Thanks for being with us.